Mount Rushmore, written by Kathy Fergang. A big idea. In the early 19th, more people in the United States were starting to settle in the West. However, many hadn't yet visited the area. In 1924, Dwan Robinson, a historian from South Dakota, had an idea. He thought a huge memorial carved from rock would bring visitors to the area. He knew just the sculptor for the job. Robinson asked an artist named Gudson Borglum to help. Robinson wanted the memorial to be of people who were important to the West. He suggested explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, and native leaders like Lakota chefs Red Cloud and Crazy Horse. However, Borglum decided on a memorial of American presidents. After a year of searching for the right place to carve a memorial, he chose Mount Rushmore. It was an important Lakota land called the Black Hills. The U.S. government took the land from the Lakota by force after gold was discovered there in 1874. The area had a special kind of rock called granite that was good for carving. An American message. Borglum thought about which president's faces should be carved into the rock. He wanted to show the strength of the United States through each person. First, he chose George Washington because he was the first president. Second, he chose Thomas Jefferson because he bought native land from friends that made the United States larger. Third, he chose Abraham Lincoln because he led the country during the difficult Civil War. Finally, he chose Theodore Roosevelt because he had the United States build an important waterway in Central America. This waterway made travel faster between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Roosevelt was also a special choice because he had a home in South Dakota. Blasting through rock. Carving a work of art into rock is no easy job. First, Borglum made smaller models of each president. Then the models were carried up Mount Rushmore for workers to copy. Dynamite was used to blast away rock. Finally, workers were lowered down the mountain on cables to drill shapes out of the rocks. Workers had many problems. One day, they blasted an area of rock on Thomas Jefferson's nose. The workers found a split in the rock, so the position of Jefferson's head had to be changed. The crack was patched and now falls across Jefferson's cheek instead of his nose, where it could break. A tough job plays off. Other problems had to be overcome when carving Mount Rushmore. The United States was going through hard times in the 1930s. During this time, there was not much money for the memorial. Work had to stop many times and then restart when more money was raised. During the 1930s, when many Americans could not find work, the memorial gave jobs to 400 crew members. The Mount Rushmore Memorial took 12 years to complete. Crews spent a few more years on finishing touches. Borglum died before the final touches were finished. Crazy Horse Memorial. A short distance from Mount Rushmore stands Thunderhead Mountain. In 1940, Chef Henry Standing Bear asked a sculptor to carve a Lakota memorial into the mountain. The sculptor chose to carve the important Lakota chef, Crazy Horse, a well-known leader. Crazy Horse fought the U.S. military when they were trying to take control of Lakota land. The memorial is also the site of a Native cultural and education center. Mount Rushmore today. Mount Rushmore has changed over the years. Roads have been built to lead visitors to the memorial. A special theater was also built at the bottom of the mountain. More than 2.5 million people visit Mount Rushmore every year. Some of the visitors come to protest. They want the U.S. government to return the land to the Lakota people. Looking ahead, each year the Mount Rushmore Memorial is cleaned and checked of cracks and damage. Rock wears away over time, so the memorial must be fixed often. Repair crews use a special material to fill cracks and repair rock. Workers hang from cables the same way the first crews did in the 1930s. Today, technology helps to preserve the memorial. Special computers find areas where the memorial needs to be fixed. This care will make sure the memorial is around for future generations to see.